So I'm going to start with one that I see, and that is on 5 for 50, I talk about this idea of these two machines. You have a revenue machine that's going to be responsible for, or a growth machine, that's like the marketing side of getting enough work. And then you have the people machine, the recruiting machine to bring in enough people to do the work. And if they get out of balance, then your business doesn't grow. Or if they get out of balance, you live in fear of getting more clients, or you live in fear because you don't, if I get more clients, I don't have any people to do it. And, or you live in fear of, if I get more team members, I got to pay them. I don't have enough work for them. Okay. Well, a level down from that, another way that the whole system can get out of balance is this idea that you're not constantly putting enough people into the pipeline before you need them. So a simple tactic that I'm a huge fan of, simple might be overselling this, but a tactic I'm a huge fan of is this idea that you always have another foreman in the pipeline. From my experience, and I don't know, Mike, how you feel about this, but that seems to be like, we have one problem of finding enough people to do the work. And then we have another problem is like finding the right people. So it's a different scenario. We'll just use a lawn mowing or a window cleaning example. You generally have to have a person that drives the truck, that runs the crew, is ultimately responsible. I'm calling that the foreman. And if you can find laborers or helpers or workers, but you can't find the driver, it doesn't matter. And so my belief is that as you're building the business, you're always overspending a little bit. And my example would be if you have a foreman and you could have a worker, I don't know, just like a helper, let's put it that way, and they cost a little less. But the ideal is to overspend, pay a little bit more money, and have that second or third person be the next foreman in training, because that means you're always ready to put somebody on the next truck. And so you might get everything right where you're good at finding people to work in the business, but you're struggling to find the foreman, and that's what breaks the growth. So when Mike talks about how are we going to get you to $1 million, how are we going to get there without this, I don't think he said it this way, but the way I think about it, how are we going to get you there without this feeling like misery and incredible pain? This is one of the things that I think if you do this from the beginning, it just simplifies. It doesn't make it easy. But it makes it easier. I see company after company get stuck in this way.
And if someone has a crew right now and they're like, hey, they're doing pretty good, I don't necessarily want to hire another person. Could an alternative way of looking at this be almost having I'll use your words, foreman, that you've hired or you have interviewed and said, hey, you're next on, like if I need someone, I'll be giving you a call, and knowing that they have another job and they'll have to give their 2 weeks, but that you do have that bench to fall back on.
Yeah, no, I love that strategy. I feel a little safer if I have a couple people on that bench that are foremen, because you just never know what's going to happen. And so that is one way to play it. And in a perfect world, you're kind of doing both.
And for someone that is thinking about doing this, what would be the strategy of trying to talk to somebody to create that bench? And or explain to a foreman that, hey, you're going to be working with another foreman. You're not going to have your own crew. Like, what are those conversations looking like?
Generally, I don't have a magic answer for that. It's more of just being very straightforward and honest and saying, hey, here's what's going on inside our business. We're growing. Things are going really well. I don't have a truck for you yet, but I think we're getting really close. I want to go ahead and get you into the company now. If you were doing a pay for performance scenario, I think about, hey, I want to go ahead and get you in the company now. I want to get you fully trained up. I want to get you up to speed. That way, when you jump on the truck, you're going to be producing at the highest level. You just kind of talk through it. I generally think most answers are honest answers and just laying it out there. And so that's how I would sell to somebody is I really want you on my team. I really want to work with you. I don't have a truck for you. I know you deserve a truck. I know I'm not going to get you stuck here helping somebody on a truck. You deserve a truck. I just need a little bit of time. I want to get you up to speed, and then I'm going to get you in that truck. It would be that. I mean, that's how I talk to him about it.
If you've built a $1 million home service business, but you're struggling to get to the next level at $10 million in annual revenue, I've created a private community just for you. It's called Home Service Boardroom, because what got you to $1 million is all the work, the hustle, the grind, figuring out your leads, your website. But what gets you from $1 million to $10 million is learning the skill of leadership, finding other great talent and managers to work for you. If that's of interest, go check out mikeandy.com/school or see the link in the description.